Hey everyone, it's David here. I'm just showing an illustration of how irritating villagers are. There's two of these folks in purple, and I want them to go behind the counter. So I can trap them in their little box. But do you think they will cooperate? No, they will not. They keep wandering. See? They keep wandering. And it's very irritating. They are very defiant critters. The problem is that when you go near them, they come up to you, as is just illustrated, and stare at you. And I think these purple ones are just mocking me, because they also tend to gossip with other villagers. So this is another villager in a different costume. I managed to trap him. He was quite voluntary. But it's always the last ones you do who stop being voluntary. And no, this dude is not trying to chop his legs off. He's quote unquote working. I'm still working on trying to figure out the combat, but and the shelving. The shelving was just irritating. But the whole thing is quite frustrating because they never cooperate. They're supposed to stay here. Oops, because there's a bell. They're supposed to come to the bell and talk. And do you see any? No. Although I don't know what time. Oh, right. They're in bed because it's dusk, which means they're over here in one of the many sleeping rooms. Hello, mister. Not sleeping. And I don't think there's enough beds. Nope, not enough beds. Either that or my makeshift stairwell is still a little too narrow for them. I went a bit overboard, I guess, with the making beds for them and making more villages. Problem is there's quite a few villages, as you saw, but the mall is actually pretty big. Like, really, really big. So they can wander about, and it still looks like it's a half-filled mall, or a barely filled mall. These are all the ones that don't have beds yet. Mostly because I haven't, as you can tell, on the other levels, I haven't actually put, like, shops in. So I also haven't put in secret areas where they could sleep. And the other problem with villages, one of two of many, I should say, really, is they spawn these buggers, which are really good. They're helpful. When there's bad guys around, they kill the bad guys. So they're very defensive, and it's good. And cats. They also spawn cats, although I haven't seen any cats for a while. They usually hide. I don't have the sound on for my game because the noise really gets to me. Oh, here's a cat. It's a good kitty. I might turn the sound on so you might be able to get some idea of how obnoxious the noise is. Frantic Riches. We'll see if we can. See? Very annoying. I didn't just hit that cat, I just made it sit. So when you're around a lot of them, there is a lot of noise. There's also footsteps, as you might have just heard. Oh, there's another kitty. So having villagers is a very problematic thing. Ugh. It's a terrible noise. So between cats, the sound, and the iron golems, it's problematic. I still haven't found a solution. I figured there's a hostile mob called a pillager, which looks like kind of a villager, but they've got armor and crossbows. And they actually shoot villagers, unlike skeletons, which is irritating. So I'm going to use the pillagers as a possible replacement for the agents. I have to turn on. I'll show you what a pillager looks like. Oh gosh, villagers irritate me. That is a pillager, and I get a villager spawny thing. See, they shoot at them and they run about. A little focused. So it's kind of ridiculous. I'll just... Ooh, very loud. It's usually best to kill them and then turn the music off before I go completely insane. That's why I do not have the noise on, although for the any filming or whatever, I'll probably add, at the very least, some of the sounds, maybe even just the hostile mob sounds, because the meowing is also irritating. So it's kind of problematic and irritating, and I'm going to prepare a big mob of villagers in this space, potentially with more shelving, and then set a couple of pillagers into the mix, and so we can have a go, see if they act in any way predictable or choreographable. My guess is not, but you know, it might be entertaining to watch, you know, just for science. Anyway, for the moment, this is a pause, and this is a little update. So I got frustrated trying to rehash everything and get everyone down, and I'm just making pillagers and getting rid of all of the beds. All the bedrooms have pillagers. now. Because it was just getting in the way. I can't even get at the bloody beds. Just too many people rushing about like scared ants. Ugh. Okay, so there's a few pillagers. And they seem to have been shooting the ones in the boxes, but that's okay. But this is how panicked they get when you put a pillager or several into the mix. I get very annoyed with villagers. It's like they were made specifically to be obnoxious or something. It's really weird. And even within sight of a pillager, there's a bunch over here who are just hanging about, doing nothing. I guess I probably shouldn't expect brains from a relatively simple AI. There's actually more villagers upstairs. I'm just there. Put holes in the ceilings, hoping they would fall down. Oh, not too many, but one bed left. You all need to leave. Right. All running around. Don't too chill. Here's a pillager. Yes! Rush about! Rush about! Yee! I'm mean. Gosh, I'm mean. I wouldn't do this to real people, obviously, but this whole trying to figure out combat is really frustrating. Rushing about. I might have to start killing pillagers soon. And there's an iron golem. Sorry, I messed up. I quite like iron golems on the whole because they're awesome. They smash things in like one shot. It's really quite cool. But they also give you, and small villages, children villages, flowers. Oh, you're really smart villagers. Not. Some of the problem is that the space is probably a bit big and unfilled for like one or two pillagers to make everyone rush about, because they come down pretty quickly, which is good when you're in the playing the game, like actual, instead of making things, actually playing a game. Then the villagers slow down quicker, so they're less problematic to deal with as a character. See? Boom. Quiet again. I wonder if I should be horrible. Yeah, I should be horrible. So don't really panic until one of them gets chased. So all of these are all happy. The problem is the pillagers don't, like, you can't tell them what to do. They're just pillagers shooting at things. It's odd. They even shot at me. That's funny. I'm in creative mode, which means they can't kill me. I wonder what this looks like from the outside. See, it's sort of... Maybe I'm trying too hard to be perfect. Run about! Run! I'm so evil. How about we torture myself as well? Now we get to hear all the horrible noises. Oh, and it's raining too. Let's stop raining. Woo! It's awful, awful noise. Oh, the poor person in a box there. First sound. Oops, wrong button. Well, now I'll go after the pillagers again. Whew, hello. There's another one. It's the very definition of chaos, I think, really. Pillagers amongst villagers. Okay, everyone's calming down. I'll go now check the extra spaces. Get that fine. Da fine. Da fine. The problem of combat is very, very difficult, and that noise, I can't concentrate. Still the same problem. I might do another trial run later on once I've filled the space with shelving, even if it's but ugly shelving like that. I probably shouldn't use the word but the phrase but ugly. I'm sure it's probably offensive. I've now made all of these villagers homeless because they no longer have beds, but that's okay. I could always give them beds. Now, to get them both, let me show you how hard it is to get these fellas. Both fellows, we need two in there. See, this one is standing between the two. This is supposed to be an aisle. And they're mocking me. What I normally do to try and get them into the box is put a block in front of it on this side, so they have to go around this side. And then once they go in, I trap them. It took me a day to figure that one out. Which I'm not sure is really a good thing. But push them. There we go. Now, when they're working, they're relatively close to their block, but they're not necessarily where you want them to be. Wait for the second one. Yes, and of course he leaves. See, they're very contrary. I'm not sure if they're deliberately programmed that way, but I swear they're like part Fae or something. It's really irritating. And then you've got aisles that people go through and they get served. And then they leave the shop, I mean. Obviously not the villagers, because they're currently locked in. But I'll have another trial run once I have probably murdered most of these villagers, so there's space, and put in a bunch of shelving to see if it works. I'm probably not going to be able to do the specific combat bits that are described in the book for the first scene, because, for example, there are no kinetic abilities. I can't throw a palm. I mean, I could, like, vomit one. It's actually really quite funny to watch. So if we... get out of the way. So, like... I can do this. Throw them. I did that wrong. Oop, I'll get the angle right. So you can buff them up, but they're not a weapon. So you can throw trees at people, but you can't throw a palm tree at someone's head, like in the books. There's no kinetic abilities, and then there's also I mean, I can't do side flips, but they jump sideways, do dancing. You can have a dance party. So there's three bits of combat. One is Asha picks up a palm tree kinetically, throws it at an agent and kills him. The next one is there's two agents coming towards her, and she does a side flip, or a flip off of a shelf, or sideways over a shelf between two combatants, and kill them both and shoots them. There's no way I can do that with a pillager. They will not cooperate. I don't really want to do that with villager. And then the third piece of combat in the first scene is Asha grabbing a civilian security guard by the throat, which you can't really do. You can punch them. So you punch people. I can't aim for shit. But you can't grab them by the throat. And she then knocks them out telepathically and shoves them into a pile of towels. And there aren't towels. You can't have a shelf with towels. You can maybe have banners, but they're long pieces of material. So I'm still not sure how to make combat, but that was at least fun, putting pillagers in amongst the villagers, just because, you know, it's fun, and I'm evil, only in a way that doesn't harm real people way. But it's a lot of villagers, and we've got to figure out how to somehow shepherd them into being helpful for the story. The only other way I had thought of doing it was with, you can get these mannequin things, not mannequin, but they're, I totally went to the wrong window. It's an armor stand. So this is an armor stand, and you can put armor on it. Shirt, pants, feet. So I could pretend that this is a person, but it's a little hard to interact with them. You know, you can't, like, can't even push them. You kill them, obviously. Pop. But it's the thing about Minecraft is that because it's made of blocks, you can only go so far as to make something look realistic, because they're blocks, they're not realistic. So I may just have to sort of do like a general walkthrough to the audio for the audiobook, a general walkthrough of the different areas of the city to do with that scene. So maybe make this room look as much like a mall shopping center, a store as possible, and then just walk through and do the bits and pieces to kind of like maybe just show off the Minecraft level. I mean, it's less fun, and you know, putting the pillagers amongst the villagers is kind of fun to watch. Ooh, we can watch the iron golem go splush. Yeah, smack. They're pretty cool. They're really good when you get overrun, when you're living in a village and you're it's overrun by people, by pillagers or other like zombies. When there's a zombie raid, it's really irritating. It's lots of zombies. So it's still problematic, but I'll just go, and even if I have to settle for sort of figuring out how to do some clever editing, or I don't know, there'll be a solution for it to be at least remotely satisfactory. Anyway, that's it for today. I've had enough. So enjoy my torture of villagers.